Alright guys, working on a Hustler here. This is a Hustler zero-turn mower. The problem with this one has no spark. This is overhead valve engine. It's just cranking and cranking and it won't start. So let me show you what it does here. Nothing. Let me show you something here. If you got safety switches on, this is what you want to do. Come over to the coil. All right, I got the plastic cover off. You can see it down there. We're just going to pull this off. Okay, this is the ground and the kill switch that goes through the coil. Let's pull that off there and now let's see what happens. Okay, you saw that there, right? So we pulled this off. I got everything in a position now where it should start. So the problem we're going to have is going to be a ground safety switch. That's an easy way to test that. You just pull that off right there. That eliminates all the kill switch and everything, and that'll eliminate any engine problems. So now we know the engine is good. It starts and runs fine. We got to start tracking down all these safety switches and figure out which one is bad. So let's get started. All right, so let me show you what I mean here. I got the meter on here for continuity. I got one probe plugged into the wire, and we're just going to take the other one and I'm going to ground it out. Alright, so it's grounded. Let's figure out where. Alright, so here's the seat switch. I got it in my hand. I got the two probes touching each one of the contacts there. And I got the same thing, continuity. All these switches are the same. Alright, you ready? Hear it? This one's working fine. And we're just going to go ahead and check all the other ones. Remember how many you have here. There's one here on the seat, and I just pulled it out of the back of the seat here. I got one on each one of the arms right here, right, because they have to be in neutral position. And we have, we're going to test all those right there, and then we have to, if those are a problem, we're going to go into the switches here and check the PTO switch and the ignition switch. But first off, we're going to check all the switches here and make sure those are good first. You can see them right down. Here's one right here. All right, so we're going to unplug that one, check the probes there too, and then we'll get that checked out. All right, so this one here, all right, we got that connected. You see it's got continuity now. I'm going to swing the arm in, and it stops. And that one's good too. All right, guys, so now we know that all the safety switches work. We're going to move on to the starter switch. And we know that the starter switch in the start position works because it when we turn it, it does crank. So we're going to go to the kill position and make sure that that is working properly. So with the switch in the off position, all right, all these tabs on here, if you look at them, they all have letters on them. You can see the M there on this one. Okay, this one is the S for the solenoid. We have, this is the G for the ground. It's kind of printed on, some of them are printed on this surface here, but in this particular one, you can see the G back there. And then we have our B for the battery here, and we got the L for lights. So all these are going to have those. You're going to have your magnetos, the M, the S for solenoid, L for lights, and the G for ground, B for battery. So for the off position here, we got the battery off position. We're going to go from the G to the M. I've already tested this one, and I'll show you what it looks like here. All right, there's our G to M. All right, and then for our run position, we're going to be going from the B to the L. The L is the lights position. Here we got the positive on the battery, and here's the, you can hear that. But more importantly here, we want to make sure that we're not getting any continuity between our run, which is the lights, and the ground. So let me hook that one up. All right, so here's our run position, which is the L for lights, and then the G for ground, and we got no continuity there. So we know the switch is going to be working fine, so we're going to move on. All right, so I pulled this off so I can gain access to the relays. There's two relays underneath here. There's one that's still mounted on there, right there, and then here's the other one. This is the one that's for all the kill switch stuff. And you know, solenoids are pretty neat. You can set them up so that if you have, say you want fog lights in your car, but you only want your fog lights to be on when or the high beams on, to send current through here to activate the solenoid to make the connection for the fog lights. So if you don't have your high beams on, you won't be able to turn your fog lights on. That's what basically these relays are for. In this case, the relay is to make sure that all your safety switches are on before you start the mower, and then the other one, make sure that all your safety stuff is on before you actuate your blades. So make sure you're sitting in the seat, and so on, depending on whatever safety setups your mower has. So what we're going to do here is we're going to pull this one off and give it a quick test. Now, what we're going to do first off is we're going to test the main. If you look at the side of them, there's a display on here. All right, and it tells you what needs to be connected. And first off, we're going to do is we're just going to check continuity between 85 here and 86, and make sure we got continuity between there, because if I'm sorry, resistance, the proper resistance. If we don't have the proper resistance here, the solenoid is going to be toast. That's going to be the first test I'm doing. And what we're looking for here is somewhere between 50 and around 120 of ohms of resistance. And these are the two that we're going to be testing, these two right here outside. So let me get that. All right, so I got this one set up to the two outside, and we were looking at 0.672. So we're supposed to have between 50 and 120. So this is a bad relay right here. Let me grab a good one and show you what it should look like. Here's a brand new one. I just picked this up from AutoZone. So here's our new relay. We got it connected here, and we're looking at 89.3 right there. 89.3. 89.2. That's where we should be. Remember, we should be between 50 and 120. This is a good relay, and I bet this is going to be a problem. So there's a couple other ways you can test these. When you run power to them, you want to make sure that the power is connecting. Just there's a couple different ways to test these, but I'm going to throw this back on and see if we have our problem solved. All right, so we got it buttoned all up again. We got the wire plugged in. Let's see what we got. All right, perfect. That's all there is to it. So guys, don't let these things intimidate you when you have no spark. Do a couple of these checks. Just go through everything step by step. Take your time, get it right, and you can get these things fixed. Don't give up on them just because they have no spark. All right, guys, hopefully this video helps you out and gets these mowers running again. Until next time, guys, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell for further notifications. This is TEPCO Cycle Repair.